Hey everyone, good morning. I hope you're enjoying your day and always sharing that good vibes around you. My name is Nick. If this is the first time you're visiting my channel, this is a space where we share inspiration, positive thoughts, and life experiences. If these are topics that you're interested in, remember always to subscribe so you can keep updated with future content that I will be posting on the channel. So as the topic of the video says, are you a shadow person? And that being said, let's get into it. Shadow person, or better known as shadow self. Also, we can call it your ego or your mask. Many definitions for this topic. The short concept is what you believe yourself to be. There are many aspects that actually builds up your shadow self. These can be externally or it can be internally. Now, the ones that can be classified as external can be such as your upbringing from your childhood, your parents, or it can also even refer to your working environment. Believe it, this can also affect what you believe yourself to be. The internals are those that actually come within us, feeling that there is something you always knew that made you different from others or make you feel that something was missing. Now, the way that your shadow self can affect you is trying to pursue something that you're actually not. And the reason is because your shadow self defines its worth based on what it knows. So what that means is that if you cannot see outside of the view or the box of your shadow self, there's only one path that you're going to follow in order to achieve your goals. But the thing is that the shadow self focus a lot more on logic. What we desire or what we actually want is more based on our feelings. So this is a way that you can identify your shadow self. It can be very tricky because the shadow self is so rooted inside of us that is very difficult sometimes to identify with the true person who you are or is being just reflected. Shadow self is that we don't expand our mind with the sense of doing something different. A perfect example of shadow self can be reflected to corporations. Like for instance, if you're working with a large company and you have many years that you have been investing your life in this path, because of all of the time that you have invested in this company, you will be expecting to receive some type of award so that way you can feel valued. And most of the companies, they do this. They give you an increase or a change of department. As an individual, anybody would be happy about the fact. But this is when you need to ask yourself and you need to acknowledge the amount of effort and work that you're putting into corporation. Is this really the work that you deserve? Sometimes there's so much time that we put into a specific job and the increase or the bonus that we receive not equal to the value of the amount of time that you put into it. Remember, time equals life. In that case, you need to reconsider about where is it that you're investing all of this time. Because your shadow self believe that in order for you to achieve the life that you desire, you need to go through a process. There is a ladder. And indeed, there is a ladder, but you need to understand if the ladder that you're actually following is the one that you really desire and actually the one that you are worth. Because the only one acknowledge and knows the worth that you have is yourself. Talking a bit about my personal experience, my shadow self is identified by logic, and actually that is my pride. I believe that anything that revolves around me can be proven by facts. And this is the only way that I knew to be. I always try to find a solution for everything. And this is a reflection of the environment which I grew up within. But I did not came to the knowledge that I was lacking a bit on the emotional side. So my relationship with people, I will always try to be very technical with the responses that I will give. It affected me a lot for the reason that if someone was trying to help me, will not actually accept the advices because I believe that the responses that I have are actually very productive and that whatever my decision came to was always based on facts. So anything that will not line up with this belief would not be like worth even giving a try. It made me understand that it's always good to see the perspective of other people's that are not the same as you, because this is a wake-up call for you to understand that what you believe to be is not always truly the real person that you are. Now, at the point that I am at, I can acknowledge that my shadow self is not really defining the person that I am and the person that I am meant to be. But the fact of knowing my shadow side, it helps in my daily life, so I know at which moment it is necessary to use my shadow self in order to help me strive in the direction which I would like to be. Absolutely, it is not easy sometimes. The shadow self is accumulation of all the things that we don't like and we would not really accept, because the best way to put it is that it takes out the worst of us. When you come to the knowledge, you will never believe that this is the way that you are. So the most important is not to fight against your shadow self, because even with my experience, there's no way that you can actually get over your shadow self. The best thing you can do is make a partnership. Work with your shadow self in order for you to achieve exactly what you desire. Remember that this side of you is necessary for you to navigate around the environment that we have, or what we would call our daily life. It defines us what is actually good and what is actually wrong. Nevertheless, this doesn't mean that you cannot be yourself. So this is the moment where you need to decide and you need to make a blend of both your shadow side and yourself in order to achieve, we can say, a better self. Getting to know your shadow self is not an easy task, but it's not impossible. So the more time you invest in getting to know the person that you really are, the better it will be for you. Because that way you will be able to identify what reflects you and what reflects your shadow side. Remember, the best gift that you can share is knowing, because knowing actually makes a difference. This is the message that I wanted to share today. If it resonated with you, leave a comment in the comment section below. I would like to hear what are your thoughts on this topic. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember always to stay bright. And if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.